Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. One of the most popular shows from the 80s had to be Cheers. Ted Danson and Shelley Long were the biggest stars on the show, but the supporting cast of Cheers was outstanding. Today, I'm looking back at the career of Nicholas Colasanto, who played Coach on Cheers. Cheers debuted on NBC on September 30th, 1982. Ted Danson played the role of Sam Mayday Malone, a former relief pitcher for the Boston Red Sox who had to leave the game due to his struggle with alcoholism. After leaving the game, Malone has opened a bar where he's a bartender along with retired coach and friend Ernie Pantuso, who everyone still calls Coach. Shelley Long plays Diane Chambers, who has recently been abandoned by her fiancé and she's out looking for a job. As I mentioned, the entire cast of Cheers was amazing, and although the show was heavily focused on the relationship between Sam and Diane, it was the supporting cast that really made the show something special. George Wendt, John Ratzenberger, Rhea Perlman, and Nicholas Colasanto rounded out the cast of regulars during the early seasons of Cheers, and it's Nicholas Colasanto that I want to spend a few minutes discussing, as I really loved his performance as Coach. Born in Providence, Rhode Island in 1924, Colasanto would join the Navy before graduating high school so that he could serve during World War II. After the war ended, he returned home to finish his high school education. In 1952, Colasanto would see Henry Fonda in The Point of No Return on Broadway, and that would have such an impact on him that he would decide he wanted to pursue a career as an actor. Colasanto would have small roles in a number of TV shows throughout the 60s and 70s, and he had also started getting some time behind the camera as director. He had also appeared in a number of films during his career. Some of the bigger films he had parts in included Fat City as a boxing manager in 1972, a small role in Alfred Hitchcock's The Family Plot from 1976, and he played the mob boss in Raging Bull in 1980. However, Colasanto will always best be remembered for his role of Coach on Cheers. I have read that when the producers of Cheers were doing their initial casting, between 50 and 75 people were tested for the role of Coach, including Sid Caesar, but one of the producers saw Nicholas Colasanto, and he was immediately their first choice. And he was perfect in that role, in my opinion. He would go on to earn a Primetime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Support Actor for each of the 3 years that he appeared in the show. One of the things that I think made him so good was the life experience he brought with him to the role. As Sam Malone's friend and former coach, he's helped Sam work through his battles with alcoholism, and this is something that Nicholas Colasanto understood very well, for he himself in 1976 had been diagnosed with heart disease, which had been exacerbated by his own struggles with alcoholism, so he joined Alcoholics Anonymous and became sober that year. In February of 1985, Colasanto would die of a heart attack at the age of 61. More than 300 people would attend his funeral, including John Ratzenberger. What about the other cast members? Well, apparently NBC wouldn't allow the entire cast to take a break from filming to fly to Providence, Rhode Island, where Colasanto's funeral was going to be held, so Ratzenberger was sent as a representative for the cast. After Colasanto's passing, a picture of Geronimo that had hung in his dressing room was placed on the set, hanging on a wall inside of Cheers. In the final episode of the series, as Sam Malone is locking up for the night, the very last thing he does is walk over to this picture, pause for a second, and then straighten it. What a great tribute to Nicholas Colasanto. With Colasanto's passing, the producers would bring in Woody Harrelson to work behind the bar with Sam, and while Woody was awesome, I sure missed Coach. Now what about you? Do you remember seeing Colasanto in anything other than Cheers? And hey, what was your favorite Coach moment from the show? I look forward to reading your comments. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel, where I talk about movies, music, and TV shows from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and have a great day.